Hi everyone and welcome back. In my last video I did promise that I'll be making videos covering different topics of audio production, and that promise still stands. But in the last 24 hours there has been some exciting updates on the TASCAM Model 12. So in this video I'm going to go through that exciting update. Well, exciting for me anyway, and I'm sure a lot of people who own Model 12 or thinking of buying the Model 12. And I'm also going to explain some of the myths and misconceptions on the operation of the TASCAM Model 12 as an audio interface feeding into your DAW. So let's get started with the exciting bit that TASCAM has updated their firmware. As of firmware version 1.3 December 2021, the new firmware update allows you to control the headphone output, whether if it is before the fader or after the fader. Prior to version 1.3, you had no control. It was always post fader. That means you need to have the main fader up to be able to hear anything on the headphones. And if you wanted to turn your monitors down, your headphone level also came down. But with the option, which we're going to look at in just a moment, you could have the fader all the way down and speakers turned off, but you can still adjust the volume of your headphone and you'll be able to hear the audio coming on both headphones. This is really great if you are tracking a microphone, so that way you can turn down and off your speakers so you don't get feedback while still able to listen on your headphone. This was something I requested from TASCAM many times on my videos, and TASCAM has actually come back, and I assume they've actually seen my videos and came back with a firmware update correcting and fixing this issue. Now I really love my Model 12. As I mentioned, this feature is only available from version 1.3 and up. And to find out whether you have that latest version, we go into the menu and we scroll all the way down into System. We click OK. And then Information. And scroll down again. Version 1.3. So if you have that version, then you're good to go. Now to select whether we want our headphones pre or post fader, again we go into the menu, we find mixer, we click, and then we scroll down. Right at the end you can actually see phones main, select pre. We select that one. In my case I have my main mix for the headphone pre. By default it's post. So you can change it into pre, so now you are able to listen before the main fader, and the main fader could be all the way down, turned off, but you can still listen to it. Now the next great feature that added in version 1.3, if you go into the menu and scroll down into DAW controller mode, now you can actually select not just Live, Ableton, which is Ableton Live, Pro Tools, Cubase, Cakewalk, Logic, which is new, Reaper, which is new, and Studio One and Cubase as well. So since my main DAW is Studio One, I can select Studio One, select yes, enter, and now I am in DAW mode. That means all of my faders and most of the other features available as a surface control can control Studio One. And to exit, back to my default mode, yes, and I'm done. I'm back into my default multi-channel audio interface into my DAW. There has been some confusing questions in regards to the TASCAM Model 12 and how it operates connecting to your DAW in your PC, whether that's Logic, Ableton, Studio One, Reaper, whatever your choice of DAW is. There has been some confusion with the wording of the options of DAW controller. The DAW controller is basically uses some of its knobs and faders especially to control the faders in your DAW. But some got confused thinking that putting the system into DAW mode is the only way to actually connect to your DAW and do recording. Of course, that is not the case. The system itself has 3 different modes. The default multi-channel mode to the USB, then stereo mix mode, which basically transfers only the stereo main fader, and DAW controller mode, which is primarily used for controlling your faders automation in your DAW. So with the default multi-channel mode, every single channel is sent through the USB into your DAW to record. And that's the default mode you should normally be in when you are recording your music through this mixer. It is an audio interface itself. You don't have to set it in a DAW mode to actually be able to connect to your DAW. So if you have multiple microphones or instruments connected into the mixer, you can record the individual channels in your DAW to individual tracks. The second option, the stereo mix option. That disables all of the multi-channels and only gives you the stereo main bus into your PC and stereo coming back that you can listen to on channels 1 and 2. This is useful if you are doing podcasting or if you are doing live streaming and OBS or your streaming platform only supports stereo audio. So this way you can mix all of your available audio sources into the main and just send one stereo mix into your streaming platform for OBS for ease of streaming. To switch from the default multi-channel mode into the stereo mix mode, we go into our menu and then we scroll down all the way to System. We click the multi-jog button and then we scroll down until we get USB audio. And at the moment mine is selected multi. We press it down and then we get the option of multi-input or stereo mix. So when we switch into stereo mix by pressing it down, now all my computer will see is one stereo audio, which is the main output into my recording software or to OBS. When I want to change back to multi-channel for recording my music, I can go to the same option again, and here I can select into multi-input, and now I am back into multi-input option. Most of the times, those are the 2 options you'll be selecting, whether you are recording multi-channel or live streaming or podcasting as with the main fader. Now, as with the third option, which is DAW mode, this transforms the mixer, as I mentioned, into a surface control. And that's the mode that you normally would be in to control the faders and automation within your DAW. That disables all of the channels, EQ and compressors, and you only get audio on channel 1 and 2, panned left and right, and you can't control the levels with the faders because they are fixed at 0 dB at Unity, and you can control that level in your DAW. Of course, you can still control the level that's going out into your monitors or to your headphones through the headphone level or the main fader level, because the effects is also used to control the master fader in your DAW as well. Now, although it's possible to record while you are in DAW mode, that is not recommended. You will still get all of the 10 channels into your DAW, but the DAW mode technically is used for mixing stage. Now, will TASCAM Model 12 replace my current mixer that I have, which is the Behringer UFX 1604 that I've been using for many years? Possibly. Well, time will tell. Catch you in the next one.